Hello, and welcome to Inside the Big Dynasty League. With we're working on the new intro, as you can see.
Well, go ahead,
Work in progress.
I'll play it again.
Play it again. Ready?
Oh, the wrong button! The wrong button!
Got it.
Hold on, I'm gonna play it.
We're also looking to maybe hire a producer.
Ready?
Yes. Boosh. Inside the Big Dynasty League.
Dynasty.
Getting all fancy.
Yeah.
All right. Hello again, everybody. As always, I'm Mike. With me, as always, is the Statman, Petey Cunningham, and the Commish, Clyde Randall Waters. I lost my train of thought. So this was a good week. Good week of fantasy.
Exciting week.
Great week. Amazing week. Best week of fantasy yet.
And some better than others. Others, it was just a good week, because they're doing stuff they've done before. Well, let's take a look here. Let's take a look. Let's recap our scores, and then we'll take a look at our matchup of the week from last week.
Matchup of the week.
All right, let's see. Our first game of the week was the FC Acid Kickers.
Oh, that was not the matchup of the week.
I was going to talk about the matchup of the week afterwards. You want to talk about it first?
Yeah, we'll lead off.
I promise we practiced from the start.
We're going to lead off with the matchup of the
Should we
week.
just start this all over again?
Don't do the whoosh.
Hold on. While doing the music going, throw the whoosh in there. Throw the whoosh in there right now.
Hello.
Alright, we're back.
Welcome to Inside the Big Dynasty League. I'm Mike. That's Statman. That's Commish. You get it. Anyway, we're going to take a look at our matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
From last week. We had Calvin Who versus the San Francisco.
Calvin who?
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 Versus the sex joke. The San Francisco 69ers. Statman, break this game down for me.
So we had undefeated San Francisco 69ers against number 2 in the division, Calvin Who. The only two that looks like they have any real shot at winning that division. Big time matchup. Calvin Who comes in, stomps San Francisco 69ers on their bye week hell. Didn't even need the Bengals this week. He didn't need Peyton Manning. Everybody else got it done.
Can I also throw out there that he started Bernard Pierce, too?
Had a big goose egg.
Goose
egg. If there's anything I'm learning in this league, start a player who scores 0 and you win.
Yeah, like your quarterback.
Like your quarterback. It's amazing how often somebody can score 0 and they still win.
I know.
I don't understand it.
I mean, if you look at it, though, that's the only player he wasn't efficient on. If he would have gone with his standard play the white guy strategy, he would have had a perfect team. 69ers also had bye week from hell week. They weren't able to pick up the pieces like Calvin Who was.
And San Francisco 69ers has kind of been chugging along this year, getting the wins, just playing the right opponents. So kind of an inflated record, even though I'm still a huge fan of the team. Kind of an inflated record, though, so a little bit of a reality.
Yeah, this was a grueling divisional matchup here.
Yes, very much so. Anything else to say about it?
Antonio Brown, lone standout for San Francisco 69ers. Antonio Brown had 32.78. If you watch that game, he probably could have put up 50 if he would have caught a couple more passes. But still a very solid week.
Yeah.
Eddie Royal, huge pickup for Calvin Who. Got him 27. Eddie Royal could have even had a 0 and he still would have won. But his 27 helped out.
I like this quote we have here from the owner of Calvin Who, Morgan Berry. It says, "Everyone counted us out before the season started." It was so true.
It was.
Very footy.
You see,
It's not as if that quote was just made up on that thing where it just
you
writes
see it
there.
time and time again. The underdog spirit in sports can lead to miraculous things. Calvin Who, the latest example.
Yes. More on Calvin Who later in this episode.
Speaking of miraculous things, let's talk about our next matchup here. The FC Acid Kickers versus the defeated? Winless. Without a win, the ones who have lost every game, that's what we're trying to say. Los Pandas Desnudo.
That's me.
Statman, break down this miracle of a game before the commish freaks out.
Los Pandas Desnudos was really hoping he was going to try out the 0 theory, but Tom Brady had to ruin it and actually get 0.36 points to ruin the 0 theory. 14-point win for Los Pandas Desnudos. FC Acid Kickers, not even a terrible week. Couple players above 20 points. Tight end almost at 20. But Los Pandas Desnudos, 24 from the Chiefs defense. Makes a huge difference.
Yes, it does.
A bit of a risky strategy, wouldn't you say? Playing your quarterback versus your defense. I mean, it worked out.
You're going to get the points either way. Either way, you're probably going to get some points.
I'll go with what I had. And look, I just started my studs. This is the only week I needed to play Tom Brady. The only week. And he got 0.36 points.
Tom Brady might be coming to a waiver wire near you.
Yes.
In the big Dynasty League.
Yes. Or trade. I'm going to trade.
If you have any gum, you could use some gum. We'll take Tom Brady for some gum.
Probably 2-3 cigars would work. They don't even got to be the good ones.
Coke. A can of Coke.
A can of Coke. We'll get you Tom Brady.
Speaking of Coke, I'm quite thirsty.
Yeah, we didn't get Coke this week.
Me too. I'm a little thirsty.
Man.
Sis!
Dude, we're in the middle of a TV show. Stop yelling. All right, moving on. We got... Don't call her. We're in the TV show here. Get off the phone.
We've had phone calls in back-to-back weeks. What's one more?
Damn kids and their machines.
I can get his Coke delivered.
I don't care.
That does sound
Move on.
All right, we got
Let's focus on them.
Text her. We got Wolfgang United versus Victoria's Secret. Rocky Mountain High versus the main woman of the Midwest. Which I was going to say something, but it didn't work out. I lost it.
It sounded good, though.
I thought so. Hey, I'm going to say, Statman, break this one down while he so rudely talks on the phone in the middle of our TV show.
Victoria's Secret, the defending champ, kind of has been having a little bit of a rough year. Comes through, gets the win, goes with the starting a player that gets zero strategy. Brandon Myers, the big zero, gets the win. That's two people who have started 0-point players and gotten the win.
I mean, practically...
We may have one more coming up. I'm not going to give anything away.
Practically 3 with the .36 from Tom Brady. If you were rounding, for example, from my elementary days of math, it was 5 and higher you round up. 4 and lower you round down.
Yeah. If we go to whole points.
If we round down, 0 points.
0 points.
So that does appear to be an effective strategy somehow.
I don't know. Wolfgang United.
What are we talking about?
Don't worry about it. We're doing a TV show. You're talking on the phone.
Wolfgang United loses by 6. I've heard, I mean, having a player that gets 0 helps you get wins. Having a player score -9, I've heard that does not help your team win.
I'm not a mathematician, and we've gone over this before, I know. But that actually, from my skills, I took my shoes off, I did some counting, and it put them further away from winning.
I think so. I mean, if this was golf, negative would be good. But
it's not golf.
This is not golf. This is football.
Fantasy football.
It's a man's sport. Fantasy football. And, yeah, negative points don't help.
We didn't line up that camera this week. How's it look? Good? Okay.
We're all in there.
All right. It works. All right, so, Wolfgang United, I mean, look, they're looking rough this year. I mean, they are the only unwon team, winless, defeated team in the league now, right?
I believe so. Wolfgang United.
They're putting up the points, but they can't get a win.
Wolfgang United, 0-6, 0 wins. They've scored the 5th most points of any team in the Big Dynasty League this year. Not only that, they have more points than their division leader, San Francisco 69ers.
But yet they've lost to them.
And they've lost every single game that they've played this year.
Maybe it's that Rocky Mountain highness.
They're like in second, though, for points against.
They are in second, points against, to Los Pandas Desnudos, who just got their first win.
Yes.
Way to go, Los Pandas Desnudos again.
But the lesson here on the defense, never go against Tony Romo. You will pay the price if you challenge Tony Romo in fantasy football. You will pay the price.
And you will pay the price usually if you start Tony Romo.
Also true.
Anyways, let's
moving on. I came in like a Monte ball. Versus Get Off Me.
Get off me!
Oh, man.
All right, Statman. Break this one down for us.
3-0. That is the record of teams this week that started players that got 0 points. Jonathan Stewart, a big goose egg? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. You get the win. It happens. This is how the Big Dynasty League works.
And this is another example of if you start a defense that scores -10 points, you tend to lose by at least 10 points.
Hey, I will say a couple of my first losses, my defense scored negative.
And you lost.
And my defense scored plus 24 this week, and I
you
won.
got a win.
So get Hoffme and Wolfgang United. Here's a tip for you. Have your defense score positive points, and it will help you win.
That should be a strategy we should apply to all of fantasy football.
If your players score more points than their players, you can pull off a win. Or if you have a player get 0, apparently, in this league, you win. Anything else really to talk about in this game?
Aaron Rodgers, huge bounce back week. I came in like a Monte Ball. She requested some love this week. Overall, solid performance. I think somebody even drafted some of these players for her. They did pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers totally came back and was the Aaron Rodgers of previous years.
Now Davis still scores 12.9, even with Jamal Charles back.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins done an awesome job this year so far. Very consistent. I think he's got 3 touchdowns, 300 yards-ish.
Victor
something
Cruz
like
has
that.
finally stepped up.
Victor Cruz looks like the Victor Cruz of old. Good week for I came in like a Monte Ball.
Moving on here, we got Hernandez's Pistol Offense versus Wayne Enterprises.
Actually, we're going to the next game after that. We don't need to look at that one.
No, we're looking at this one, sir.
We don't need to look at that
We're
one.
looking at this one. Because here is an example of how a team can be so bad in a week that they lose to a team that was following the Get Hoffme and Rocky Mountain High team strategy of starting a defense that scored negative points. As a matter of fact, this team scored
Some pumpkin pie.
later. I'm in a TV show right now. Jesus Christ.
Just go.
All right, so minus 12 points. The most minus of the
Love
defenses
you.
we've seen as of yet.
And let's look at the trend.
And he still beat you.
Let's look at the trend at all these defenses that scored
Did you
negative
mention he
points this
started a
week.
quarterback this week?
He did start a quarterback
Okay.
that scored points.
Scored a few points.
Not as many as the quarterback on his bench, but still, way enough to stomp you into just
Hold on.
awfulness.
He bucked the trend. His defense scored negative.
That's what we just talked about.
Oh.
While you were on your stupid phone.
Welcome back to the show. Los Pandas Disney List.
Hey, I'm getting his
Mish.
cokes delivered.
Doing
Anyway,
your part.
Grandpa's here.
Grandpa's here. There's Coke's here. We're live on the air right now.
And there's 3 pumpkin pies left.
People in that room.
All right.
We're recording here.
Okay.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Thank you, Coke.
All the interruptions today. Anyway, so Wayne Enterprises, the stat man. What happened here, buddy?
He sucked.
This was just a terrible week. So last week, Kelvin Benjamin, Jeremy Macklin, Michael Crabtree, all monster weeks this week. Kelvin Benjamin, the rookie's the only one to live up to his hype. Nick Foles, 3.9 points. I don't know what to think about that. It just I don't know.
You outscored his defense by 36 points, and still, sir,
Yes.
you lost.
It's hard to beat a team when they have 3 wide receivers score 30 or more points. They had another run. The running back scored 20. Tight end scored 20. It is really tough to beat a team that does that. I want to go back to this defense thing, though. So the 3 defenses that went negative went against Tony Romo, Joe Flacco, and Eli Manning. Let's just think about that for a second. That is the 3 quarterbacks that torched defenses to where they got negative points.
That is
What
how
kind of-
messed up this week.
What
was.
kind of NFL are we living in anymore?
Hey, guys, I'm not sure. I mean, I've read Revelations once or twice, but I'm pretty sure this is a sign of the apocalypse.
I believe this was
Or
chapter
Black
12.
Cowboys?
There could be Cowboys involved. Anyway, so you lost.
So I got my butt kicked. Good job,
Hernandez
Hernandez
Pistol Offense. Good job, buddy.
I tipped
Next-
my cap. I tipped my pen.
I would not
To you.
make a habit of starting defenses that score negative points, though.
Anyways,
Moving on to the bench dogs.
pick up their second win of the
Second
season.
win. Third win, sir.
Third win.
Third win. Third win.
Third
of
win.
the
Third win.
season.
I have 500.
2 weeks in a row. Third win.
Job well done.
This game followed all the trends we've seen all week this week. I started a player who got 0 points
4-0.
and won.
4-0.
And Tugs, the Ricky Bobby team owner, started a defense that scored negative points, kept him further away from winning against me, and he lost. Statman, what do you think about things?
I'm blown away by this 0-point starter deal. 4-0 this week. I'm going to play my worst player this week and hope they get 0 points.
Play that guy that's suspended.
Yes! I really might start Josh Gordon this week just to see if this trend continues.
Definitely, you should start Josh Gordon this week. And all your really horrible players.
I might do it. Let's just see what happens. Ricky Bobby team gets 37 from Andrew Luck. Not enough to get the win. Heath Miller, 24 points from the rapist tight end. That's pretty solid. Bench dogs had nobody except for Phil Rivers had a good week. Other than that, nobody really solid, but the 36 points from kicker and the defense combined.
Boom.
That helps get the win. That was the difference right there. 36 for you, 7 for Ricky Bobby team. Those Pandas, or the bench dogs, moved to 500 on the year.
500, baby.
It's a good feeling.
With those doubleheader weeks, man, you can bounce back quick. That was awesome. So that was this week. Let's move on here into our awards of the week. We got to start off with the Hershey Milk Dud of the Week.
Milk Dud.
This one goes to the Dud of the Week, the worst player. Guy who used to be
all up in your teeth.
Fantasy gold. Now he just sticks in your teeth.
Awful.
Rots them and just sucks and is awful.
What cures getting the milk duds out of your teeth is some
Ice
nice
cold Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
My mouth just feels refreshed.
This week, the Milk Dud of the Week goes to none other than Los Pandas Desnudo's own Thomas Brady.
Thomas,
actually, that's his full name. You didn't know that?
Yeah, I used to always call Joseph.
Joseph Hoff. But Tom Brady with .38 points. I mean, honestly, Tom Brady for years. He took me to 2 championships back in the day, in another league. Back
in the late 90s.
He used to be great. And I don't know if he's gotten that awful, if it's just his offensive line and having no one to throw to.
I think the Michigan in him is finally catching up.
Everybody keeps talking about Tom Brady's receivers. I really just don't think Tom Brady is that good anymore. I think he's still good, but
how many picks
I don't think
did he
he's a
throw
top
this
10.
week?
He's not a top 10 quarterback anymore.
Yeah, click on that. How many picks did he throw this week?
He got pulled this week.
He threw 2 interceptions and had a fumble lost. His offensive line's not great. His receivers not great, but I just really don't think Tom Brady is that good anymore. He's still solid.
It's a changing of the guard.
He's not a top 10 quarterback anymore. Even if he had a really good cast around him, I still don't think he's top 10.
With that being said, I'm still looking to trade Tom Brady.
Got any nickels, silver dollars, maybe?
One of these, all you need.
Anyway, I don't even mind. I got to win this week, so let's go to this next award.
We got the Dodge, or the Ram Pickup of the Week.
Pickup of the Week.
It is really hard not to call him a Dodge Ram.
I know, it's
just Ram now. It's not Dodge. Anyway.
It's not even Dodge?
No, it's just Ram.
I drive a
Ram.
Ram.
Own
I don't
company.
drive a Dodge. I drive
That's
a
weird.
Ram.
Anyway,
Corvette.
this goes to a player who is used to getting this award. Got it last year when it was the Match.com Pickup of the Week. Eddie Royal.
Multiple year winner.
Yes, I believe our first.
Eddie
if
Royal.
such things were tracked, we would know for sure. But yeah, Eddie Royal picked up by Calvin Who. Statman, how did you earn this reward this week?
Eddie Royal had 2 touchdowns, 27.5 points. Solid in helping Calvin Who get through bye week hell and getting the win over San Francisco 69ers.
And sadly, I think this is the week for Eddie Royal. I doubt he does much of anything.
He might have 2 touchdowns the rest of the year.
That's Eddie Royal. He has one breakout game, and if you can be the one who picks him up that game, awesome. That's why he never gets drafted. Anyway, moving on to the Jones Soda Whoop-Ass Energy Drink Whoop-Ass of the Week. And this goes to the team that opened up the biggest can of whoop-ass and just beat a team within an inch of its life. And this week it goes to Hernandez's pistol offense for destroying you. Statman, talk about how you got destroyed.
He sprayed Jones Soda all over my face. It was awful. Awful times. I got destroyed in that none of my players except for Calvin Benjamin did anything. Terrible week. He had Randall Cobb, 2 touchdowns. Jordy Nelson, 2 touchdowns. Steve Smith, 2 touchdowns.
All with 30 or more points in fantasy.
All with 30 or more points. 90 points from 3 wide receivers.
It's like he started a quarterback this week. I was able to throw to him.
There you go. Anyway,
Yes.
moving on to the poopery poo-poo team of the week.
One note I wanted to make about Hernandez's Pistol offense was 1.4 points away from having a top 25 all-time score. You know what kept him from a top 25 all-time score?
The minus 12 of their
Negative
defense.
12. Might have been even a top 15 all-time score.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, we recommend starting defenses that score positive points.
That is the goal.
Anyway, poopery team of the week for when you don't want your poop to stink up the whole house. This one goes out to none other than the 69ers.
69ers.
Who, the only undefeated team, and they only put up a whopping 109.92. And that was poo-pooey.
Poo-poo-ree.
Not really much else to say about that other than they sucked.
6 players on bye: Marshawn Lynch, Ellington, Larry Fitzgerald,
Look, they're
Brian Quick.
still top of the division.
So they're still leading the division. They got their bye weeks out of the way for some of their top players. I think this team will be all right. I ain't losing hope yet in the San Francisco 69ers.
Let's move on to my favorite award of the week.
The Cialis team of the week, and it's his favorite because he uses it. Anyway, this is the team that has the biggest comeback. Limp, useless piece of junk team last week comes back hard and stronger than ever, ready for a win. And that one goes to none other than my good man over there, the commissioner, and Los Pandas Desnudo.
That's right, the Nude Pandas. We actually won. First win of the
Job well
season.
done. Job well done.
Yes.
Congrats on the win.
I worked hard for that. Came down to Monday Night Football.
It all comes down to Monday night. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
I don't have that queued up. I can play the swoosh again.
No, we don't need the swoosh. We don't need the swoosh. Anyway, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Good week.
Thanks.
Moving on, we got the Dave Lapham Surprise Player of the Week. The most honored award that we have of our favorite announcer, Dave Lapham. Face rate!
Balls out! Balls out!
Oh, baby! Oh, baby!
Woo, sexy.
Goes to Larry Donnell. Drafted, or not drafted, picked up
2
by
weeks ago.
Get Hoffme 2 weeks ago. And why, Commish, does he get the Surprise Player of the Week?
He put up 30 or so points this week. Amazing. But also, ESPN reported today that Larry Donnell did not even play himself in his own fantasy league and lost by 15 points for playing Vernon Davis over himself. He surprised himself this week with his play.
Exactly. If you're in the NFL and you play fantasy football, how do you not start yourself?
Why would you not play yourself? I don't get it.
I would
really
play myself
don't.
every week.
If he continues at the pace it is right now, he's expected to get 16 touchdowns and almost 1,000 receiving yards to break like 4 or 5 different Jets records for the season.
Jets.
If he continues on the pace he's at right now.
Jets. That'd be impressive if he breaks Jets records when he plays for the
know.
Giants.
Well, for tight end. Oh, the Giants. Sorry. That's what New York teams, they're all the same.
The other one.
Giants. Look at you making me look like an idiot. All right. So, anyway.
Sorry.
Congrats, Larry Donnell. Have faith in yourself, man. Start yourself.
Even on your bye week, 0 points will still get you a win.
Exactly. That's what we learned this week. If you watch our video, this is awesome. Come on the show sometime, first of all.
Love to
be
have
amazing.
you.
And we'll talk you up big time. And we'll pay you in Coca-Cola.
I mean, if I was a hot dog, I'd eat myself.
That's true.
Shoot, I didn't even go back for seconds.
That was kind of creepy. Anyway, let's move on to our interview of the week. This week we're going to be introducing you to a player who may not need an introduction, but may get introduced, because I don't know how long it's going to take to get the interview ready to go.
It's ready whenever you are, man.
I am ready for it to go now.
Let's get to this interview.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. The owner of Calvin Who?
Calvin who?
Morgan, my brother, Barry. That actually is his middle name.
My brother?
Yeah, that's his middle name.
Is it brother or brother?
Brother. He's white.
Brother.
Morgan, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. It's feeling good to be 4-2.
I bet it is. So you're 4-2 right now, like you just said. You had a big game this past week where you took down the undefeated 69ers, and you put up some big points. what we dubbed last week was your bye week from hell.
Bengals didn't even play.
I know, and that put you as. What'd you say?
Neither Seattle or Denver, the rest of my team.
Exactly. It puts you as the points leader in the league right now. Yeah, and, looking at it too, you might be up for trade of the year because Calvin Who is very fitting at this point in time of the season. Who?
AJ Green almost outscored him this week.
Oh, snap! Because he didn't play. That's why it's funny.
Well done.
How do
Burn.
you feel about that, Joel? How do you feel about that?
So, big waiver money on Eddie Royal.
Yeah, I needed something this week, and I had a hunch that Eddie Royal would be that missing piece for me. And I don't know if it was worth $25, but hey, it got me through the week. So.
Do you see him in your lineup going forward?
This week I'll probably start him as well. Yes, it's him or Eric Decker, and Eric Decker, Brian Hartline. Those two guys aren't doing that hot this year, so.
We got pretty bad quarterbacks.
Yeah, and Eric Decker, he's been kind of injured, hasn't he? Questionable.
Yeah, he's been out the last couple of weeks pretty much.
Yeah.
He's got a case of Geno Smith-itis. It's hard to shake that. Really hard.
Yeah. So, what were your thoughts about this past week? And were you worried about all these buys you had? And we know part of your strategy was picking up Eddie Royal, but overall, what was your strategy for getting through this bye week from hell? Hell.
Well, I mean, I think I honestly got lucky because if I had to pick a week to play the San Francisco 69ers, it was this week. So I will say that's on my side. But, you just got to remain focused and, play your starters that you got, and you get through it.
Yeah, so you're saying you got to give 100% all the time, right?
Yeah, 100% all the time. Yep.
All right.
Hey, what's your favorite cheese?
Probably cheddar.
You like the sharper cheddar or the mild cheddar?
Sharp.
All right, you like pre-shredded or you like to shred it fresh?
Well, usually I buy pre-shredded because of laziness. However, I prefer freshly shredded.
Thank you. Sir, you got any questions?
Hold on. What was your quote this week about cheddar?
The sharper the better when it comes to cheddar.
So
trademarked.
Apparently that's going to make it into Taylor's high school yearbook this year. The high school students at Taylor thought it was an amazing quote. Anyways, moving on to more serious questions.
What is it about? I got a question.
Yeah, go for it.
What is it about white wide receivers that you like to draft them and have them on your team so much?
Well, I don't think that it's the fact that they're white per se. However, I will say, honestly I don't know why I drafted them. I've come to realize that was a bad decision. Thus the pickup of Eddie Royal, and I'm sure
Eddie Royal, who's black.
If anybody's interested in Eric Decker or Brian Hartline, make me an offer, but that's probably not going to happen. But I'm not going to say anything racist on here. So.
No, we don't need that for the show.
No.
No NBA teams being sold because of this show, please.
No.
Try to keep this show at PG.
So I know you don't play this week, but down the line you're going to have to play your wife. With her, the owner of Victoria's Secret, if you're not aware, with her being pregnant, do you feel it's going to hesitate you from beating your wife?
No, I don't think so. I've really been focusing on Ray Rice and trying to learn from him these past couple of weeks. Taking notes on interviews he's had, and that way, hopefully, when I do beat her, she'll still stay with me after the fact because I do want to, raise my child with her and all that. But I am definitely looking forward to beating her pretty bad. So I gotta study what he did to keep her as well. Beat her and keep her.
Are you willing to make a deal right now with us?
What is that?
That if somehow you end up finishing last in this league this year, even though you're looking pretty good, we get to name your kid, even though you already picked out a name.
Hey,
No!
Allison's over here to my left.
A lot of confidence from the white.
But, hey, without her knowing, Yeah, she'll be in maybe I'll be the one filling the paperwork out or something like that at the hospital. Maybe I'll be able to slip something by.
All right, we got to come up with a good
As long
name.
as it's not Chalupa Batman. That's,
Well, we'll go with like Empanada Spider-Man. Anyways, I got one last question for you. So, like we said, you live with Allison, your wife, owner of Victoria's Secret, last year's league champion. This year, you're riding high. You got a team that seems pretty solid even into the bye weeks. Have you picked up any lessons or learned any tricks or tips from her since you live with her?
no, not really. I just try to convince her to start Eli Manning every week.
Which would have been a good decision this week.
Very good.
Would have been. I woke her up on Friday morning telling her the good news of Eli's score Thursday night. She wasn't very excited. But no, I mean, we don't really talk about fantasy a whole lot. It gets pretty heated if we do, so we try to just keep that conversation on to a minimum.
That's good. Good. Well, that's all the questions I had. You guys have questions?
That's it.
Any other questions?
What's the square root of 12?
I think it's 3.
Works for me. I'm not going to check you. Have a good one, man. We love you.
Close enough.
Statman. Is that right?
You're close. It's close.
4? Is it 4?
It's like 3.3, 3.4.
I'll be honest with you. I don't remember what a square root is.
Wow.
Maybe 3.5. I don't know.
What is it? Is it 3.5 times 3.5? That makes it the square root?
Yes.
What?
It's something like that.
Isn't 3 times 3 18?
Guys, I failed math.
No, 3 times 3 is 9.
What?
What? All right, Morgan.
Yeah.
We love you.
Hey, congratulations on the league, on your team so far this year. Hopefully, we see you in the playoffs.
Congrats on impregnating your wife.
Yes, congrats on the
Good
baby.
job.
Yeah. Guys, have a good night.
All right.
You too.
Thanks.
Good luck.
All right, thanks again to the owner of Calvin Who?
Who?
Calvin who?
Morgan, my brother Barry. We move on. We're going to take a look at the matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
This week we got Get Off Me
Get off me!
versus Hernandez's Pistol Offense. Statman, break it down.
Big matchup this week. We got the 5-1 division-leading Hernandez's Pistol Offense against the 3-3 Get Off Me. Hernandez's Pistol Offense has some guys coming off a bye.
You're the ones who got me Coca-Cola. Keep talking.
Star receivers in this battle. Hernandez Pistol Offense, Cobb, Nelson, Steve Smith, Roddy White. Get off me with Des Bryant, Alshon Jeffrey, Calvin Johnson. I heard there might even be an addition to the receiving corps. Get off me.
That is true. Assuming people don't reject our trade, there is a trade going through.
They are going to have a new wide receiver.
Don't forget, anyone in the league can reject trades or accept them.
So, get off me, Larry Donnell. It's going to be interesting to see if Larry Donnell can repeat the magical performance of last week.
Seriously.
All right. I think that all depends on which Eli shows up.
Mm-hmm. Eddie Lacy. We'll see if he can, do any better.
I think Hernandez's Pistol Offense is going to have a bit of a tough go of it because, anytime Green plays Minnesota, even though Minnesota's terrible this year, it's a tough game.
Terrible.
All right, so Statman, what do you think? Who are you going with?
Prediction, I'm going with Hernandez's Pistol Offense. It's a little bit of reality this week after the monster week last week with 3 receivers over 30. I'm going to get off me to get the win.
All right, get off me. Kamish. Just go!
This show must go on.
Assuming he starts his quarterback this week, I am going Hernandez Pistol Offense.
I am also going Hernandez Pistol Offense. I think he's finally got his team tweaked together. He finally started playing quarterbacks who start. Hopefully he takes our advice on the defense, get negative points. That can hurt him, but I'm going with him. All right, and then What?
I would say let's do a lightning round to finish.
Yeah,
this.
last but not
Lightning
least,
round.
Lightning round through the fantasy pool picks. Get your picks in by Thursday.
We had 8 people pick them last week. Let's get on 12.
Yeah.
Let's roll in
Oh,
all 12 weeks.
Make your fantasy pool pick.
69ers versus FCS and kicker. Statman.
69ers.
Commish.
69ers.
Me. 69ers.
It's a lock.
Victoria's Secret. Los Pandas Desnudos. Statman.
Gotta go with Victoria's Secret in this one.
Los Pandas Desnudos. Or Commish.
I'm going for 2 in a row. Picking myself.
I'm going Victoria's Secret. Calvin who? Wolfgang United.
Calvin
Statman.
Who?
Statman. Wolfgang or Calvin?
I'm going with Calvin Who. Wolfgang United. It's gonna have to be another week. They're more than capable of pulling off the upset, though.
Commish.
Calvin who?
Calvin who as well. Wayne Enterprises versus the Bench Dogs. Statman.
Wayne Enterprises.
Commish.
Wayne Enterprises.
I'm going Bench Dogs, baby. All right.
Upset City.
Monte Ball versus Ricky Bobby. Statman.
Gotta go with I came in like a Monte Ball.
Commish.
I came in like a Monte ball.
I'm going Ricky Bobby.
Woo! Picks are saved.
My picks are in. Get your picks in, people.
Get your picks
You
in
can
by
do it.
Thursday.
You get 4 owners, fantasy pool picks. You just pick 6 games. This is easy to do.
We've yet to hear from anybody about picking a week to see to kind of sit around and watch the games as a group, maybe throw a party. So if you do want to do that, let us know. If the problem is you don't make it to the end of the show because they're 40 minutes long, then you're not hearing this. But if you are hearing this, at least acknowledge it. Anyway, have a great week. Don't forget to check your buys.
Dolphins and Raiders.